Hi everyone, this is Mitch at Millstone Firewood. I would like to thank all my new subscribers. I just hit the 500 subscriber mark, so we're doing good. On track for hitting 1,000 subscribers in the next 2 years. So that's a good thing. Anyhow, if any of you have watched the YouTube channel In the Woodyard with Chris, he had a big discussion about not stacking firewood. And I am going to agree with him 100%. Stacking your firewood is time consuming and it generally sucks. I hate it. I hate stacking. I hate cross stacking the ends if I wind up doing that. I hate building bins out of pallets. It's a real pain in the butt. So what I have started to do is make piles. Now right here, this is my first real pile of firewood, and this is all pine. So what I've done is I've started creating a bin out of pallets, and I'm just dumping the wood right in here. And it's perfectly fine. It's up off the ground. It's got plenty of sun and wind here, and it will dry just fine. A loose stack of wood has more airspace around each individual piece of wood. Therefore, it's going to dry better. Probably dry faster. When you make a stack of firewood, there's not as much space to allow air to move around. So a loose stacked pile is much better for drying your wood. Now, after saying all that, the way my property is laid out, there is not a flat spot anywhere here. Everything is on a hill or a gully or a ditch. If you look around here, I'm holding the camera, and it's really hard to tell. I'm holding the camera as level as I can, but this is a major incline here. And you see where I've stacked my firewood logs. So all this is a hill going down. So just grabbing these logs with the grapple and bringing them around here to the firewood processor is it's a little tricky, because when you're on an angle, on a slant like this, and you're picking up a heavy log, believe me, that tractor wants to tip over. And that's a very unsettling feeling when you're sitting in the seat up there. And I've almost dumped it over way too many times, and I don't want to get catapulted out of the seat, and it's scary. I don't want to have that happen. So this is tricky. It's an unfortunate circumstance of the way my property is. I also have to contend with, because I'm on a hill, I mean, that's a mountain there, everything up there is wet, and all that water runs downhill. And I do have a drainage ditch that runs along in here, and that diverts a lot of the water. But even so, if you dig a hole, water runs right out of the side of the hill here. So everything here is wet. As you can see, this is my my mud bath here. Yesterday I tried to scrape this flat a little bit. Didn't do a whole lot of good. All it did was make a huge pile of mud down here. And when I say a huge pile of mud, I am not kidding. Jeez. So anyway, we get down here to where the house sits, and this is literally the only area that's somewhat flat. And it's only flat from right about here where the driveway circle ends to the other side of the house. This is the only flat spot in the whole place. That's why the house is here. And there's a little bit of flat down there by the end of the driveway, but not much. This is the reason why I stack my firewood the way I do. Right along here is an embankment. There's a creek down in there. This area is flat, but it's narrow. There's not a lot of room in here. So I don't have enough space in here to make any kind of a significant bin to where I can just dump the firewood. Also, it's by the house, it's by the road. People going up and down the road can see my stacks of firewood. So this serves a purpose for me as kind of advertising. So when people go up and down the road, they see my nice, neat stacks of firewood, and that pretty much tells them what I do, in addition to the sign at the end of the driveway. But this keeps it nice and neat, and when you're inside and you look out the window, you see a nice, neat stack of firewood. But as I was saying, when you look at this wood is stacked together pretty tight. There's not a lot of airspace. Now, obviously, it's still going to dry. It may take longer. This is the reason that I stack my firewood, is because it looks nice and it fits in the space that I have. Now, after I fill this, and I'm going to go all the way down to the end where that tree is, I've also decided that I'm not going to cross stack anymore. Normally I would have these ends cross stacked like I do down there. It's so time consuming that I just don't want to do it anymore. So I'll sacrifice this little bit of lost capacity right here. It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. Cross stacking, I hate it. I hate doing it. So I'm not going to do it anymore. So now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to continue right on down here. And I'm going to continue with my stacks. All the way down here to my wife's little garden area. And then I'll stop right here. Once I fill this in, then I'm going to go back up there and I'm going to make another bin for mixed hardwoods. And then I'm just going to throw it into the piles. And that'll be a whole lot better. I could probably find some space over here. This is kind of our parking area. But I could probably stack some in here, maybe even put a bin in here. This would probably be a good spot for a bin. Problem is, right here, this is a lake. This was 2 feet deep in water here because we had so much rain. So that's just a bad time. And if you look up there, you can see the tracks of mud. So everything here is wet. When I put bins, just piles up here, wherever I decide to go up here, which will probably be above that drainage ditch. This mud, good grief. First I have to get it up there, and then when I sell it, I have to retrieve it. To hook the dump trailer up to the tractor, drag it up here, load it up, take it down there, hook it up to the truck, and then drive off. Or if I don't have my dump trailer, I have to get my truck up in here and load the truck. So that's my story of why I stacked my firewood and what my plans are with the bins. And that's coming. As soon as I fill in along the driveway there, I'm going to start making more bins, and we'll see how it goes. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you later.